Welcome back to ReactJS Live. That was me practicing my intro. It's my exciting intro. I watch a fair amount of YouTube folks, probably like you guys do too. And it's funny how YouTube can become. Let me turn the music down a little bit, guys. It can become a mentor in its own right. I mean, we can learn music if we want to learn how to make music. We can learn art. I remember one time watching a gentleman make a full-blown painting of the ocean and just kind of following along, and my painting came out better. So lately I've been using YouTube for two things, much like some of the software folks out there or developers out there. We go back and we brush up and we get some really cool tutorials from the web, from YouTube web. And so I keep hearing that YouTube is the number two largest search engine on the web, and I can see why. We keep hearing about video being a important part of the now and the future, and that it is the future. Um, Before I get off on some tangent about what the future is all about, here we are now. Um, in my career, I can remember remembering back to when video conferencing wasn't even achievable unless you had some very, pricey hardware in where you're at and some pretty dedicated bandwidth. And then over the course of time, things have gotten cheaper and better. And so here we are on ReactJS Live and all of our connected channels. And I'm sort of just letting you know what we're working on, what's been on my mind. And what we're going to work on today. I've got a note in the title for the stream, you guys. It's reactjslive.com, site updates, and Electron plus React social marketing conversion. So I spent all of 1 second coming up with that title. I tell myself that I'm going to go update the title on YouTube because of marketing, and like every day I learn something new. And I can tell you that my YouTube experience has reignited my interest in search engine optimization. I've gotten some tools like vidIQ and others you hear about, but you don't really use them until you need them. So more and more, I've noticed that the ReactJSLive.com channel has in 30 days gone from an idea to something with a thing with over 600 subscribers. Of course, we've got our technology groups on Facebook that really give us our audience out of the gate. So if I was going to give you guys any online marketing advice, which is that's pretty much my job. I build online marketing platforms for my day job, and lately it's been my night job because I spend a lot of time during the day going live. I found myself pretty excited about getting up in the morning, and the first thing on my mind is like, let's use all of the energy we have now in being creative and going live. And I get prepared, and more I'm spending a couple hours just before going live, getting ready to go live. I watch videos where the folks talk about building your channel. I look at our analytics. I brush up on some JavaScript, and I do a little bit of saying hello to all the people in our groups. So, I mean, my journey is no different than anyone else's out there, and I would just encourage you to just kind of start your own way out there to build your own audience and build your own channels and just really market yourself for your own sphere. That's and in a way when we say marketing, I'm almost saying create a network. I was talking to someone today about, he was asking about mentorship, and I was thinking, well, who are my mentors? You hear me mention some other folks from the SEO channels that I joined, and really on a whim. On Facebook, I was looking for SEO. I found a group. In that group, there was people talking a lot, and there was there was the owner of the group going live, and I started to see that maybe it's not about being so careful about going live on your original first videos, because it's like you really got to practice. You got to learn a lot of things about video speed, buffering. Is your mic good enough? Like mine could be better. Where's your camera? What's OBS? Which is, there's other options. Where can we stream? Like I use Restream.io for ReactJS Live here in the final quarter of 2019. So how can I create exciting content solo where folks will watch up to 7 minutes straight and have a click-through ratio of higher than 3%? I don't know, but it's happened. Our channel has actually had some pretty heavy engagements where we've had some longer videos where we pair program, and we have one in particular video out of all of our videos that's driven like out of our almost 700 hours of watch time, which I'm telling you guys, only 2 weeks ago we were like at 20, then 50, but it was like hard fought. But then we had one video in particular where there was some good energy, in it, and we were pair programming and we were telling bad jokes. And I think that there was enough interest in that video that was completely natural that kept people holding on. So I still don't believe yet that I have the compelling nature to just keep you engaged. I don't think I have enough jokes to last 7 minutes, but I'll sure work on it. But I'll tell you that you can get lucky just by going live and just talking about stuff that's interesting. So let's keep this interesting and talk a little bit about what I'm going to work on today, which right now the video, it's a kickoff point. A lot of times people will tune out. So if you tune out now, see you later. But if you want to stay with me for a little while, I'm going to give you the deep secrets right at the 7 minute and 5 second mark. Okay, so just hang in there. And now I'm just being one of those cheesy YouTubers, right? But it's the early days of ReactJSLive.com, and I talked to all sorts of different people from our JavaScript group, our Node group, our React.js group, and now we have an Electron group that I care a lot about because I like all the technologies. I mean, we even have our Vue channel. There's an Angular channel, and what else is there? Learn to code for the beginners, and we even have a thought leaders channel coming out. So some people ask me why so many channels. I mean, I don't know why not. And a lot of times it's people who are just focusing so hard on their first channel. Meanwhile, I'm using technologies like Restream.io that are pushing like pretty much core content across multiple endpoints on YouTube and Facebook, Periscope, which is a Twitter company, I believe, and even Twitch. And I have almost like zero followers on Twitch, so I don't even know why I brought them up. But I can say that, this pushing of content across all the boards is creating a certain amount of algorithm shakeup, and it's becoming like a video game, just like any other game where you want to get more points. I really believe that we're going to monetize and make tons of money off of our channels? Probably not without going out into the market and saying, look at all the eyeballs we have on our stuff, and we're going to go ahead and sell you some ad space on there. And then we're a little ways away from that. And I really believe that I'm just sort of like the early host and one of the early people in the channels that just really help set things up because that's what I'm good at. I'm good at building graphics and database and front end and doing marketing and building tools to do marketing and even obviously talking a lot. So thanks for joining us today. I always joke and say we have our 4 live viewers, and it's my mom, my brother, my cousin, and Noe in the other room who helps really keep everything on our property up to snuff. But yeah, so where are we? At some point, I want to stop talking because I feel like that people sometimes come to these videos. I don't know if they're here to see me. I don't know if they're part of our group of folks where I say, hey, I want you guys to be co-hosts. I want you to come on and code your projects. Anybody in the channels that we have, or I'm calling everything channels now, but anyone in our Facebook groups who has projects that they want to work on, basically first you come on React.js Live with me, and we get to know you, and we talk about some technology, we get some opinions, we hear about your background, and if everything jives and you feel good, maybe we'll do a little coding, and and if you want to come back, we set up a little series, a little playlist on YouTube under our channel, and your videos will go there nice and tight. So I will just say some things off the top of my head. It's so strange nowadays where everybody, like folks like who are in technology like ourselves who do programming, we are independent type people because we're capable to be autodidactic, right? Autodidactism, or I don't know if that's a word, being autodidactic is you're self-taught. So we go use Google, we get good at searching, we read stuff, we have that discipline. And then the trick is, I think, in this industry is groups. They even say it in real estate marketing with some of my clients, that's what I focus on, that it's like agents are independent, right? But groups, brokerage firms and groups of agents are really the ones that are going to network, give each other lots of tips, and have that strength and that draw, because people, when they feel like they go to work with a group or they get involved in a group, there's just some synergy there. So I would recommend to anyone out there, including myself, the more that you can cross promote the people in your sphere, the more that you can get involved with them, the more you're going to learn, the more fun you're going to have, the more content you're going to generate, especially when you go live. So for instance, like when I went live with Mario Roberti quite a few times, you can kind of see that there's some energy there, maybe some interest. Like maybe he's making something that won't compile. I've got a little more experience on the web and I help him unstick it. Or we have a little bit of fun but he has like an idea for a project. That's like, if someone like me who's been doing projects for so long, sometimes I get into this mode where it's just like, what's your project? We're going to build it. Because I could pretty much build anything. And I have in my time, I've built contact management systems, CRMs, websites of all types, e-commerce engines, just the norm, the stuff that someone in my career for this long you would expect they would touch. So is this really all about me? Maybe, maybe someday I hope to get famous enough that when I'm doing work with other folks out there, I don't have to explain to them all the deep things I know about JavaScript, all the deep things I may know, what I'm learning now about React. I kind of want to be able to passively tell the world, like, hey, you can see some of my softer points. You can see where I want to get stronger. You can see my personality type when I work, and you can see where my interests lie. And if, the more that I can get that message out there to the world without having to do that individually, the better opportunities I'm going to face, right? And the same can be said for you guys. And it's what I'm saying to help attract you guys to the channels too, because it's just my mom, my cousin, my brother, and no one in the back. They're going to watch us live anyways. So you might as well get some practice in the early days of ReactJS Live or some of our other channels that are also starting to open up and go live, and just get yourself out there and maybe become part of a new type of economy of technology. Because if you really think about it, like I was thinking about Ivan the other day, like I used to code with him in the same room, and it was like a real honor for me because he writes really great code. He generates tons of code. I mean, the guy is like, even the machines are jealous about about the code that he's outputting. And he really upped my game when I got to work with him. And if you're watching this, Ivan, I want you to smash that like button and go ahead and resubscribe. But basically, what I'm saying is that maybe we're at a close point in our future here where the screens that we're going to have are going to be able to be shared properly. And we are there technically, where like there really will be a screen right by here with some sort of shared view where Ivan can come into a virtual room, much like, maybe Zoom or something else, and I can too, and we're sharing one particular screen where we can look up and see it, and then we can also hear each other at decent enough fidelity and even see each other on a nice high def enough cam, and then it's like, oh, I really feel like I'm in the same room as him now. And maybe we really can collaborate now, because think about it, here in 2019, collaboration, even though you can work remote, is pretty much you're in a silo. And I didn't mean to go live and just start going on this rant, but I gotta say that the more content we're putting out, I watch all kinds of stuff. One video about marketing says do this from YouTube, one says do that. The more that I've done putting out content, and I mean, there's almost every video that I do by myself where I just start talking makes me regret it a little bit right when it's over. I'm like, I didn't like the beginning. Maybe I sounded negative. Like the video I did yesterday, if you guys check it out, maybe the first 10 minutes I'm sort of complaining about how I run into people that seem to know everything about something, but then when if I really sit down with them and say, okay, you are a specialist in a certain area, because sometimes I guess, and then here I go again. Sometimes I've run into specialists in my career that really sort of trip up my creative flow. Now that the opposite is also true. I've ran into people that have skills and they recognize that I'm a doer and I'm a pusher, and that's me. I'll push to build something that the client wants, and it's something of high qualitative level that we can get out in this particular quarter, hopefully, not like never. I put my name behind things, and I want them to launch out to production, and I want them to be bug free. I don't believe in bugs, and I don't believe in like putting out anything but quality software. So that's what I'm saying, is that sometimes there's people out there that like they literally are scientists at a particular thing, and if you talk to them, they can almost read back to you verbatim what every little thing in the language spec or in the technology stack does. But then you sit down with them and say, okay, today's goal is we're going to build X, and it's just problem after problem. I remember early on in my career, way back before I was even a programmer, I was just an early webmaster, and I could do graphic design and some coding, but I had no formal understanding really of. I knew some programming, but I wasn't anywhere where I am today. And it was the same thing. We'd sit in meetings, and there were guys and gals, there was folks who were really, really, really knowledgeable on the team, but they would say things like, that is impossible, you know? And so like one of my monikers, I don't know if I have it on LinkedIn right now, but it's anything is possible. And I really believe that. We have so many tools in our tool chest that when we go to use a particular technology, if the technology is not all the way mature enough, and when I say mature, it's like if we were going to enter a drag race with our vehicle or car, and a new technology car comes out, and it's like, well, this is the new technology, and it's only 99% of the way there, but it doesn't have all the years behind it of like the customizations done to it, It doesn't have like all the add-ons and the fairings and all the cool things that you could throw on there. That stuff still needs to be built, or that stuff is out there, but it's hard to find because it's just not on the web. Then you may have a new school vehicle, but you're not really going to build that fleet. And maybe that's not the best analogy, but I always go back to jQuery. If we had a contest to build something this quarter for a particular application, maybe it's my skill set and maybe where I am with React, but when I go shopping around the web, and I mean, I know you guys out there who are full stack developers who really build real rich internet applications, you go out and you look for functionality that already exists so you can actually learn and say, this is exactly the functionality that I want. Maybe I can take it and adapt it, or at least I can have a working prototype to show my colleagues. Because anything conceptual, I mean, you can start with like whiteboard and diagrams and UML models and do all kinds of stuff. But if you've got a working prototype or a working piece of code that's been on the web, that's rapid application development to a degree. So I kind of go back to the jQuery stuff because it's supposedly installed on 77% of the web. So that like if and yes, I know it's a little bit spaghetti code. I definitely know what it means. Like I have an Electron app like we're going to look at today, an Electron app, and it's mostly done in jQuery. And like some of the menu systems that I did in there with the JSON and the dynamic reader for the menu, it's starting to get to a point where the application does a lot, but it's starting to get to be a little bit unmanageable and untenable. And it's not until I've come over to React that I started to realize how clean it can really be to build with the composition style, the composition design, the component approach to building the front end applications. Because most of us know that the UI stack has gotten a lot thicker when it comes to what is the application. So for you new users out there, keep doing what you're doing. A lot of you are lucky because you're coming into the game where there's a lot more maturity in certain areas of the vehicle, but there's some areas maybe you don't understand. It's like, maybe even if I go back even further. Now, I barely got into the game when right around Visual Basic 6, had already been around a long time, and it was moving up, or maybe even VB4 code was still out there. I don't even know, man. But I remember there was a litany of desktop software that you could grab source off the web and run it in Visual Studio. And back then I opened up Visual Studio and I felt like I was driving like a Boeing airplane. And I was like, dude, I have no idea what this cockpit of stuff does or is. I was lost. But I could open up the applications and run them and they did certain things. And after a while, I could start to make certain ones do whatever. And it is a rad environment. My point was that there was an age of the web that was pre-web that was kind of founded on, hey, software can do all this crazy stuff, but we need to go to the web, and then the web evolved, right? So we didn't need to go way back and say, but there was a lot of technology left behind. And you know, a lot of us remember desktop applications were really fast. You could click a button really fast and da-da-da-da-da-da. And as long as it was built properly, the dang thing didn't crash most times, and you could work really fast. Then the web came around, and guess what? Here we are, kind of stuck back to click and wait. Click. I mean, even now, I'll be on Facebook and I go to press something, and for whatever reason, Facebook servers are latent. All my other websites are coming up fast. It's built in React, and I gotta wait, or reload the page, or even especially the groups that I work with. There's something always broken that I'm replying back to Facebook, and they're one of the largest software teams in the world, and I didn't even look that up, but I'm just gonna guesstimate. They got plenty of money. They got AI, they got fast servers, and even today the state of software, whether you call it cloud computing software as a service or distributed web technologies or whatever it is, at the end of the day, step it way back. When I open up a thing and press a thing and it's slower in 2019 than it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago, we got to figure out what we're talking about here. In a way, we've sort of benefited the software distribution model because they could run updates and they could distribute to more people. Because in the old days, it was like, here's my software. You pay me one time and you have a version. Gosh, I mean, a lot of us kind of missed that. You pay $50 for something and you owned it and you just could just go do your work. Nowadays, everybody moved to SaaS, and I know it's a great business model, but think about the end users. It's like you're going to be paying for Photoshop for the rest of your life. Welcome to the SaaS world. And even though that's a desktop software, they still leveraged it. And then there's browser-based applications. They're just not very fast because they're sort of like run on JavaScript just in time, and they're delivering most of their stuff over the wire, and it's not really cached fully in your local desktop. So where am I going with all this point? I have no clue other than to tell you that I'm still in the software game, I'm still in the web game, And I love what I'm seeing from React. I mean, with the command line interface for Create React App, you can have a scaffolded application ready to go. And now I sound like a used car salesman just saying, "Hey, you can come get your Create React app over here on sale now if you're in the game." But it's true; it does a lot for you. And some of the folks like Victoria French, who I know, who I talk to a lot, and she really knows React really well, she says that it's kind of sad because some of the folks coming into the game are like they don't even know how JavaScript works under the hood. And like I told her, like I already experienced all this with the jQuery developers out there because I was involved before in a time before jQuery, and then all of a sudden jQuery came on the scene and people joined the web and they're like, we're just going to program with jQuery because it's faster. But all it was really doing was like handle like the XML HTTP response stuff. It would do it one way for one browser and take care of the other set of browsers, and it was like a big bundle, and it would like do some detection or however it handled it. But you could do it the jQuery way, where you could like send and receive text in an Ajaxy way. You could do fetches, if you will. So standards. You know, sometimes when we wait for standards, they come about slowly, and then other people do breakout stuff in technology and they win. So all of this speech is going towards, I love React. It's going to save you a lot of time. I've really been looking into Vue. There's compelling reasons to use that as well, and I know nothing about Angular, but well, maybe like the ng tag. That's about it. Maybe that I think it's bidirectional, but I'm not going to start talking like I know. Um, yeah. So Electron. So why Electron? Well, I mean, if over here on my screen, just behind me, is an Electron app. It's the VS Code built by Microsoft. Go figure. Poor Microsoft. You know, they had to go buy GitHub out from under us, right? But Microsoft has been polishing their software for a long time, and they've just bought themselves right into our hearts, and they're giving out VS Code. And here we are today with the beautiful technologies that are actually free. I'm so glad that they do give that out. It's a cool tool done in Electron. Slack. What else? Even Skype. GitHub Desktop, which can be a little buggy sometimes, but also made in Electron. So the usage of Electron that I like to do is probably not the most performant when it comes to using the web view control or the web view tag, but I really like it because you get to repurpose web applications and make layouts that you can't normally do with the retail grade browsers. So if you look at something like Chrome or Firefox, they're just tab driven all the way across the top, and they have to distribute the software to everyone. So even in like an advanced professional like myself, like advanced meaning I've been in the software game for a while, or my mom, she'll have this, and she's not doing software at all. She's going to have the very same container for her experience in web as I do. And it's tab, right? Now I know you can get plugins and do different layouts, and you can do shortcuts in your operating system. It's just not there for me. So personally, when I use Electron, what I like to do is do layouts. And in a moment here, I'll tone it down. I'll slow down and I'll get into coding. I don't know if you can hear the cheesy little free open source non-copyright claimant music playing in the background, but I'll just kind of go back to actually making something. My goal today was not to so much get on well, actually my goal is always to get on my high horse and just talk about stuff. But my goal today is to actually produce stuff for ReactJS Live because I'm creating, with the guys and gals who are involved, am here to make a platform for all of us to have a voice. When you go to YouTube today and you type in ReactJS, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 5 recognizable people or companies, and you're not going to have a piece of that puzzle. You're just going to be the person way on the, you might as well be on Mars. You're over there on planet Mars, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm independent, I'm in my home alone, and I'm trying to learn this stuff, or I'm at work, but I can't show that I'm like not knowledgeable in everything. Where am I going to find my crew? And so what I like about going live with something like ReactJS Live is that we can bring all skill levels of people on all journeys from all over the world. I talk to people in Sri Lanka, Paris, India, Pakistan, Europe, California, New York. Just everybody's interested in what we're doing because they go to these Facebook groups and they're just another one of the masses where it's like post after post after post, and that's great. I'm a member of so many Facebook groups. A tip that I like to do is I join the Facebook groups and I immediately unfollow them because when I'm ready to go be with them, I go to them and I read them like the newspaper. You wouldn't want the newspaper just being in front of your face all day long, just showing. And the more newspapers that you order, they're just always just feeding you data whenever you want. You want to go to them when you want. So it's a little bit of tip from me to you. But I have our core groups, and so I've made an Electron app, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. That's in jQuery, and it's an Electron. But in the heart of React.js Live, unless I'm going to go start a jQuery group, but apparently according to the web, it's dead because it actually touches the DOM directly. Oh my goodness, it needs to go. But then you talk to people who are in the, and guys, I have to keep saying that this reminds me so much of the time just recently, a few years back, or maybe it was 5 years, I don't know, time flies, where everybody's like, don't do PHP anymore. It's going to be all Python. Now, I've done some Python Flask. I've built some pretty elaborate modular applications with Python Flask. I mean, full content management systems, full authentication, public and private stuff. Really nice. I like working with that micro framework. But it did not supplant PHP. Like PHP is still very much alive. Facebook still uses it. Laravel is very nice to read and use. And WordPress, I thought they were going away with it with a whole REST-based, some sort of approach. I don't really know. I haven't checked in, but it's still in PHP. So, like, why do we have to say one thing is dead and legacy just to move to something new? Well, let's bring it back to React. I was doing Electron for about 3 years now. I've built so many little desktop browsers with it. I've built some cool stuff. I love the fact that you don't even need a web server when you want to work with web code to make your UIs because I've used the web browser control in Visual Studio. It has some benefits. You can do automation. You can do screen scraping. Years ago. I built something that we charged $4,000 a month for. There was an automated browser and did what human beings did in 6 seconds. It normally took human beings, our people, about 10 minutes. So there's some leverage that you can do when you can automate the tool set that we're giving to the masses. So desktop browsers, desktop applications, clearly something I'm very interested in. And yeah, so back to the point about making our Electron app upgrade. I have one right now where I've like basically put like 40 web browsers in there because when we go live on React.js Live, I won't always be the one who goes live. I'm gonna need to do copy paste to like welcome people in, even in the other groups that I don't admin. It's like cross promoting. Maybe I'd call it marketing. I don't consider it spam. It's about React, and you can come on over to our live show. So I go ahead and I paste it in, and I'll show you guys that here in a minute. It's a very simple application. And I went and found like some like sort of like layout tool in jQuery. Man, they got an API. I didn't read it too much. I just installed it and started using it. It's not the prettiest implementation. Don't judge me. I guess whenever I join a company and look at what's under the hood of their code, I'm just so surprised to see like that it's not exactly a perfect system either. But it's going to be bug free. We're going to take a look. But one thing, oh, there went Google. My bad. Sorry, Google. It's real TV. Google, are you okay? She's no longer plugged in. So I'm going to plug her back in. So where was I? We need to bring the legacy stuff into React. Let's see if Google still survived that. I'll put it back in there. I had her kind of like I scooted her over to the edge of the chair so she could be in the camera. Oh goodness, she's not. Are you plugged in, Google? Okay, she's coming back online. Thank goodness. That would feel bad if Google was hurt. Let's see if computer's still active. Let me turn on the. Okay, we got no power there. Now I'm getting off subject. So I've got some stuff in Electron that I'd like to bring into React. But the thing about the React applications is
By
that.
the way, the mic is on mute. To turn it back on, press the button on the back of Google Home.
She's not afraid to interrupt, is she? When's she going to learn that? Hey, Google, I was busy.
The mic's back on.
Cool. Hey, Google, how are you doing?
I'm feeling pretty studious. Since the holidays are here, I've been learning some fun facts about Kwanzaa. According to Wikipedia, it was created.
That's cool. Kwanzaa's cool. But anyways, yeah. Hey, computer, how are you?
Did you ever try to write a poem and it turns out bad, but somehow that's good? That's how I'm feeling.
See, man, here we are again, rebooting everything. When are these AI bots going to actually be about me? They're already listening, right? They should already know that I'm talking about React and Electron and doing a hybrid. Now, time flies. Like literally 6 months, maybe a year ago, I wanted to do a React application embedded in our Electron apps, and it was very hard to get it done. I finally got it done. It was like a lot of late hours of comparing like package files, and really getting the runtimes to work together. Because when you compile an Electron app, it's got a little bit of a different build model than it does maybe, let's say, in like when you use the Create React app for React. And so you basically have a little mini web server that you need to start up, and then once it starts up, it's going to pull open usually localhost 3000. And like if you're using Electron, it wants to know to go to your start page, and so like you can point it at either an HTML page or even a render page, essentially. And there's a lot of commonalities when you do Electron programming. You're going to find, oh, we're writing in ES6 most of the time. Oh, this code looks very familiar. Oh, like the application directories and scaffolding. There's some commonalities there. So time has passed, and more people have put out blogs, and I've done it a couple times. So it may not go that great in this video, or I may not even get to it. Maybe I'll just keep talking about Visual Basic 4 to 6 to VB.NET to classic ASP, and now here we are with modern applications. Skipped a bunch of stuff, right? So what are we going to do today? The website needs work. The ReactJSLive.com website needs work. There's an SEO team that I have like networked into, and I've gotten some good tips. We've got the YouTube channel that's like, guys, I'm so thankful for all the watch hours we're getting. Just the other day, it was like it dropped for a minute. We only had 6 hours in one day, and I was like, oh, I understand. And all of a sudden, we got another 70 hours watched. So we're getting close to 700 watch hours, which I keep saying, it was like just only a couple weeks ago, we were down well under 100, like in the 50s. And I don't know, I got to look at the analytics, but for a while there, we were having like 100 watch hours a day. So we're almost, when we get to 1,000, we'll be 1/4 of the way to where we want to be. I don't know why I'm so focused on us going to 4,000 hours for our watch time. I just don't know why. Maybe it's, again, the video game of all of this. It's like we've surpassed the 100 subscribers, so we could get our own alias, which is youtube.com/c/ReactJSLive. Then we're well on our way with over 600 subscribers. I imagine the way we're going live and sharing out to all of the groups, like the 31 or 40-ish React groups, it says right at the bottom there, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So we're picking up like 6 to 10 folks a day, maybe sometimes 20, depending on the day and depending on the go live. It's pretty amazing. So I just imagine that we'll be at 1,000 subscribers. I don't know. I'm just gonna say by the end of the year, but maybe it'll take a little longer. So when you get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, guys, you get into a class of like, you can go partner with YouTube. You can turn on AdSense. You can then embed your videos into live embeds with like basically an iframe, or you can put your YouTube tag into remote systems, and you can go live. And I plan to do that for systems like dev.to, where we can do a blog about what we're about to do, but the embed tag is live. So when the post goes out, people go to see it, they read what you're talking about, they learn whatever it is, but there's the video and you're actually doing it. That's what I want to do with ReactJS Live. And then I always talk about what the plans are, and we've already achieved some of it. Using Zoom, we could do multi-screen share, and I want to do pair programming at least, where it's like you see 2 folks working on code at the same time. 3 is great, 4, and we're all committing to GitHub. To me, it's a little bit more exciting. I still watch the one-on-one tutorials with one gentleman who's so smart, and he does all the text, or someone who does the work and watch. That's great. But there's something fun to watch people who actually have to collaborate, tell bad jokes. Hey, this is broke. Hey, can you look at that? And they actually make something live. So again, that's ReactJS Live. And now I find myself winding down and saying, I had no clue I was just going to start off the video just with that whole dissertation. But in reality, I think I've cleared the 10-minute mark. And from an analytic perspective, I'm going to pull that up right now and we'll take a look. I've definitely done a couple things. One thing is I've created content that lasted longer than 10 minutes and 11 seconds, which is an average time that if you can reach at least 7 with a click-through of 3%, YouTube is going to start recommending you high in the algorithms. So that's an important piece for a channel that's going to grow. And then also the person inside of the video, which would be me at this case, says to you, hey, we're going to stop everything, and I want you to please just stop what you're doing and click that like button. Okay, go ahead and smash that like button. Smash that like button. I know you're busy. I know you're probably running around your office doing whatever. Maybe you're listening to me. Maybe my mom already clicked it. Maybe my brother's already smashed the like button. But if you're my cousin and you haven't done it yet, smash that like button. And if you're a new viewer today, just go ahead and do it, man. It's paying digital currency a little bit nowadays, a little bit of likes, a little bit of views, and you never know when your channel finally grows. And so, why do I say that? ReactJS Live is a platform for anyone watching this. I don't care if it's the first day that you've heard about React and you're just doing JavaScript just yesterday and you want to get in the web game. You can come on in live. We'll show you the basics. You know, you may not stay for 2 hours for the coding session, but you can definitely talk about your experience. You say, like my experience with React, guys, I'm going to keep telling you, is that there's a few more areas where I need to get strong. Now I know what I don't know. And that's going to be like building like actual applications with React, not just brochureware websites, not just like a contact form. I've done one full stack application that worked with the database, like it was an SQLite database. It's over on my GitHub, rather be surfing. But anyways, use effect, the new hooks, use state, really understanding the event model. And I'm literally watching a ReactJS crash course on my tablet right over here. And it's just going to take practice, right? And I would much rather document this experience so you guys know where I'm coming from. Because if the person that started ReactJS Live was like, hey, I know everything about React, I mean, I don't know who that would really attract to the channel if everybody felt intimidated. I would rather bring really advanced folks in and beginner folks in and people like me who are on their way to intermediate so that we can have some real live code conversations, which is one of the series names. Again, back over in our YouTube. I keep pointing over there. Maybe it's over there. Back over on our YouTube, we're going to dress up some of our stuff too. So let's get into it a little bit. I've had my 15 minutes of talk fame, and I don't even bother to look at the live views because I just don't know who's tuning in or out. But I do know that, going live, and let me close this. And creating content is a key metric in making your channel, guys. And if you become part of this, I would really like you to go make your channel. Make a branded channel. Make 5 channels. I'll happily subscribe to them to learn what you're working on. If we produce a video on one of our shares, whether it be JavaScript, Node.js, or ReactJS Live, go ahead and download it with 4K downloader and put it up on your site or reference it in your resume. What I'd really like to see happen is that some of the pair programming, we're building projects like Mario's project with artificialgalaxies.com. I mean, like just literally a few weeks back, it was like a dream in his head. Now we got a website for him. He built it, WordPress, we set it up. It's got an awesome theme from ThemeForce that does a whole lot of things. We've got a group. It's got like 6-7 people in it. It's for games, but it's going to grow. He's building like an application to help you build space worlds. And he's learning JavaScript and web. He's got programming experience. But my point is that project has probably 4 or 5 videos behind it now. And I just love documenting the journey. You can do that too. If you come on and you're like Narendra, or Nandy's is his nickname. He really likes Vue a lot. He's the admin of the Vue channel, and he's got a project he's ready to go live and talk about. We already had our intro, get to know what he's working on video. So I'll be his co-host, and I know a little bit of Vue, and I can write a little bit of code, and I can play funny sound effects in the background and try to make the video more exciting. Because, you know, just watching code all day for a couple hours, you can learn stuff, but I think sometimes you need to stop the camera and ask somebody, how does this work? Or how does that work? I'm not afraid to ask those questions because I'm learning, always learning. So where are we at? ReactJSLive.com site updates. And I'm going to start to go into a slower cadence here. Let's take a break. And I'm going to just like make some laughter here for myself at least so that I can have fun here. Because, you know, it's all about having fun. So let's ask the audience how they're feeling here. Can't really hear them. I'm going to check in with them here in a second. I'm pretty sure that OBS shows them. Okay, let's raise it up a little bit. That's cool, right? Come on, do a stage up. Now, I didn't pick this music, you guys, okay? Like, we get flagged if we play anything cool. Even Mozart, his stuff got claimed the other day. It's not a big infraction, but YouTube or Facebook will automatically strip your audio out. So I'm not sure that everybody's super into this track here. I feel like if I put some Mozart on for a little while, like I might fall asleep. Let's go to hot tracks and see what we got. Here we go. Yeah, the music stopped. It kind of died out. Everything kind of died out. I can deal with that. It's a little sad. Maybe get a little inspired. So now we're going to get inspired. All right? As a full stack developer, well before they even came up with the term, you got to get yourself in creative mode and you got to build stuff. And even if it's not perfect, you got to iterate. So let's pull open what we're looking at here is our ReactJS live Electron application. Hold your breath if you've done some development and you see what you see and you're like, oh my goodness, what is that? Let's take a look at maybe turning down the music just a little and just a little bit more so I can hear myself. It's good beats. Hope you guys are hearing it good out there. All right, guys, so we're in VS Code, and if you just joined us right now and you're a member of my family, I expect you to go smash that like button, and if you're sitting around laughing with your wife or your girlfriend or reverse or whatever you're doing, smash the like button anyways. Go to our other videos and ReactJS Live. Go to one that needs another like, click like. Go ahead and click share on social media. All the analytics work. And I'm not kidding when I tell you, if you got an old computer in the back and you're not using all your bandwidth, pull open our play all videos. Go stick it in the back room. Hopefully you're listening to it and let it play for a few hours because every hour counts towards our 4,000 hour mark. We're almost to the 25% mark and I can't believe how quickly we've done it. Well, actually I've been marketing us so much that I'm not like shocked, but I mean, I am happy because I calculated that it was going to take us a lot longer to get to the 4,000 hour mark. And I would think with your help, guys, with your paying it forward by likes and comments and sharing and just watch time, you're going to help me get to that 4,000 hour mark and maybe I'll take a day or two off, you know? So let's just work on that. Over here on the left, oops, let me get the arrows right. This one. Okay, over here on my left, yeah, that works out. Is VS Code and we're running this application called ReactJS Live Electron. This is hideous the way I've got this laid out. So I'm going to go npm start. So I think we might be streaming to the Electron group. A lot of you guys came over from the React channels. I said, come on over if you want to learn this stuff. And so as promised, I'm going to show you a very thin client that I used. If you want to build Electron, just basically go out and look for the I think it's the quick setup. I won't even bother Googling it. You'll find it. It's under the Electron team site where they're like quick start. And they'll have one that's just a real generic bare bones. That's what we're running here. It gives you this where's the music? It gives you this cross-platform environment where this can run on Mac, Linux, and PC. So that's cool, gives you a little window. But what's running inside of here is web code, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And soon it's gonna be React. So I wanna get some stuff done rather than just talk about conceptual stuff. But if you can see here, I've done a little bit of busy work filling out some of here, I'll just learn to point up. There we go. Some of our channels there that are ours. Facebook group, React Node, JavaScript, and then we got to learn to code. I would like to add another row in this layout in our Electron app so that I can go ahead and write something to each one of you folks. And, you know, watching out for the algorithm. Facebook doesn't like it when you copy paste the same thing. The AI machines, which we now work amongst, I'm telling you, if I'm working on marketing us and I gotta watch out for the AI bots that are trying to stop spam, what a crazy world we live in, right? And then on top of that, the algorithms like YouTube, I was just watching something about YouTube and they said that the YouTube engineers don't even fully understand what the algorithm is doing on YouTube. Now, I don't know if that's a true or false statement, but it seems that they just sort of tell it the end result they want, and then using machine learning, it kind of fills in the blanks. Let's take a sip of coffee and see if this keeps going, yeah. All right. If I ever run into you on the street, I'm going to ask you immediately if you've smashed that like button or if you've seen my latest video. And if you haven't, I'm not going to judge you. We'll still be friends, but I'm just going to know where you stand in our efforts here. And I'm just kidding. But if you have something that you want me to check out, please share it with me. I'll be an avid watcher of your stuff. It's really important that you get your sphere of people in your life kind of behind what you're doing in the early days, and then it starts to take on a life of its own. Like some of our videos, I'll go and I'll advertise them on larger websites that are about a certain type of technology, and it'll get a lot of views. And then once it starts to get a lot of views, the algorithms kick in over on like Google. And on top of that, with the YouTube, with the Facebook algorithms also linking over and clicking to, it really kicks up YouTube, and that's how one of our videos has gotten over 3,300 views. And so that does, to some people who have channels, they're like, that's not very many views. But I can tell you, just a month ago, like I went live and it would be like 1 view, and it was me. So now when we go live and we don't do any cross marketing, which is what this tool does, this tool right here allows me to at least market amongst Facebook groups and say, hey, we're live right now. Why don't you come on over and take a look? So I'll show you guys a little bit about what that looks like. In fact, if I can get a scroll out of here, let's see if the scroll button, maybe we'll see. It doesn't show the live icon, does it? Let's see. No, what's that guy doing there? No. Not in this view. It has to be the richer desktop version. If I can grab that URL, I can start to share it on all of the groups right now. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to do that with this video. I've been kind of sharing to all the groups lately, and I don't want to make 40 admins of all these ReactJS groups completely hate me. I've noticed the more I'm starting to share, the more my stuff is getting moderated before it goes out, but they let it out. And I kind of figured that today I would log in and look at this thing, and there'd be a few missing groups, like maybe I got kicked out or blocked, but they seem to be tolerating us. So ReactJS Live isn't just for our 3,000 person, well, almost 3,000 person ReactJS Live group. It's also for React enthusiasts, which there's a ton of groups. There's many more I haven't even signed up for. But I'm kind of looking in here to see if our content is still in here. Maybe it gets kicked, maybe it's still in there. You know, I don't know. I'll go do the analysis later. Yeah, I noticed like Miguel Coder, he pushes himself across a lot of the Facebook groups too. He doesn't come to ours because we're not like 38,000 members, though he is a member. Let's see if any of our stuff is still floating around there. And I'll remember this, okay? Whoever's deleting our stuff now. We did get quite a bit of engagement, and now I gotta change the music too. Da, 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 da. Super not playing this music. Let's move on to meditation on the beach. Okay, that works. All right, so I'm just kind of looking to see who has. See, like here we go. Here's a live stream from Learning Facebook's ReactJS. So I'm appreciative. These guys did not pull it, either that or they're not moderating. These guys may have so many posts. Yeah, I couldn't see why they would pull us, but they let all this other stuff go. So I just have to imagine that it doesn't show, like I'm not digging into like how many members are in here, but I still haven't seen how it posted last night. And so I do a little bit of marketing for the channel. You can see here we are again. Let's see, here we are again. Yep, not seeing it in this one. They're kind of a newer group, some of the smaller groups, they seem a little bit jealous. They seem to see in our post, I think it says, I think it has our group in it. Yeah, so that pisses them off. I'll have to start going live from the Node.js group and paste it around. Well, actually, the Electron group has a live. So let's do that. Let's see if we can really upset the manual marketing algorithm. I'm going to go to Facebook. And then I don't remember off the top the Electron. I think it's probably Learn Electron. Let's see if we get that one. Is that us? That's not us. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That is us. Learn Electron. Yeah, that's the nomenclature we use. But now we're gonna change this to. I mean, Learn Electron's a good one. If someone else wants it, go ahead. But I'm gonna change it to. I'm gonna link a page, and I want to link. I guess I could link the ReactJS Live guys in there. That's okay. But I also want to link up my marketing company in there, and that's probably good enough for now. And that gives us a little more control over some things. But then I want to mess with the URL. Hey, everybody can learn stuff, but we are going live in all of our channels, and we want to do some live coding. So I want the future of the groups that we're involved with to kind of have that premise that, like, how many of us can go watch a post, read a post, watch a video? Again, we're isolated, but there's something exciting about going live, or at least watching a live feed. I mean, I'm not saying that like me sitting here babbling for 2 hours about what I believe the web is or what it should be is even all that interesting or even that beneficial to my career. Heck, it could even hurt it because they could be like, Chad is so talkative, we can't have him on the team. But I really think that it would make me team lead right away. So actually, let's change that up. Someone who's talkative and is like a polyglot is a great addition to your team. So go ahead and go to my PayPal link and sign up to hire me. I'm only going to be X amount per hour, and I'll just fill that in for my later movie clip, my later commercials that I put out there. And that's me doing dry humor. So if you stay tuned this long, we're averaging 2 bad jokes every 30 minutes. So let's stick with that. But back over here, back over there, let me get that right. Back over, how do I get the, no, yeah. Back over there, dude, just pointing right at it. We're going to change our URL. We're going to choose, I wish I could take the last 30 seconds back. And then I don't get this right. I got to get this right. Electron, already taken. But Electron Live, not taken. Okay, we're going to take that bad boy. And Electron Live. Now, we've been calling everything JS. So I'm on the fence if we're going to call it Electron Live. You know, React Live was taken, Node Live, I didn't try. Someone else can have it. You can be my one and only competitor. I want to say Electron JS Live. I'm really going to lose sleep over this because it's Node.js Live, ReactJS Live, Electron.js Live. All right, if someone's watching this and, did someone message me? Let's see if we got, hopefully everything's on the hunky-dory. Who's that? I watched your video creating the new ReactJS and coding technical strategy, and it was super amazing. Oh wow, I'm beginning in an SEO, and your video really helps me a lot. Looking forward to see more videos from you. Dude, that's awesome. Man. Hey Hassan. Hey Hassan, thank you, man. That feedback is worth a billion clicks. A billion views to me. I appreciate that. Okay, so I guess we made some good content, and this gentleman Hassan liked it. So that's awesome, dude. Right on. Okay, let's keep it going. And I think he's from the SEO group, so that's what's up. Break into the other categories because these things are all commingled, right? We got some music. We got the Electron. I'm gonna stick with Electron.js Live. Oh man, I'm just not gonna be able to like sleep about this one. Electron Live. Let's see, now if I was a real SEOer, I would be like, if I typed in Electron, like what comes up? Build cross, okay, but if I type in JS, it's the same thing. All right, I'm gonna break with the norm, and I'm gonna call it Electron Live. You won't be able to customize this after 5,000 members. I might only keep the groups just under 5,000. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Sorry to share your message, bro, but I just want people out there to get the vibe of what we're putting together. Man, thanks again. Super nice of you to say. Let me know if you want a dog. If you want to adopt one. Much appreciation. And as a friend on Discord, and talk to you soon. Send a request. It's all about networking. I've met some really amazing JavaScript programmers. Oh, I already have a Labrador, he says. Those are great dogs. Okay, then. I'm all over the road and I just love doing it that way. So, guys, are we going to be Electron Live? Electron Live. I think we're going to stick with Electron Live. This goes against everything, but let's just make one mistake in our lives here on marketing and just be like it's not exactly the same as the others. So we've got Electron Live is now the address, and we're also going to change the name to be Electron Live. And now you guys know what we're all about on there. There could be more content out there for Electron groups. I haven't really looked around, but there wasn't when I was looking. Well, clearly we need to update the artwork, and let me switch it up back to me. And we're going to go ahead and approve these members and say welcome. But I really came over to this group, but since I've got everybody watching our marketing strategy here, I'm going to go grab a couple others. We've got one more. It's the Angular group, and it's AngularJS. So the SEO portion, only 75 members, but we got all those in one day. And that's how I met Victoria French, was kind of cross-marketing in the React groups. And a lot of these folks are React experts coming over who want to learn and be polyglots and learn Angular. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Now, I'll be surprised if Angular Live is taken. And a lot of times it's called AngularJS, but I mean, Angular is just Angular, right? So it's got a good marketing keyword like that. So we call it Learn AngularJS. So we're going to call it Angular Live. It's available. So we'll go ahead and customize that address. And now officially we are Angular Live on that group. I don't plan to be a master of all these technologies, just play one on TV. No. But I plan to meet people that I would consider mentors who are really good at it, like Ivan Olsen. You know, he's been writing Angular for a long time. I mentioned him earlier. And I really started beefing up this group just because he sort of started writing more Angular lately. So, you know, I want to learn. And you never know which projects you pick up or what code you have to run into. So you don't want to be like scratching your head and going, how does this stuff work? If you have at least a base understanding. So over here, there should be a live feed. I don't see it. Did I not push to the Electron group? I must have not. Well, gosh darn it. All right, well, who's not going to get pissed? I wonder if we're live in the Node.js group. Let's go take a look. It's Node.js live now. I'm at Node.js live. Now everybody knows my marketing strategy. But too late, I grabbed all the URLs. So here's the live feed, and then I just basically, thanks for all the likes, Chad, and then we're going to go permalink. And then once you have a permalink, or maybe I should just be like, hey guys, thanks for all the subscribes we got for the channel, for the YT channel. That's how elite I am now. I can just use YT for YouTube. If you haven't subbed, see, I'll just be super cool, like I just know about it. If you haven't subbed, please do. We need 45 more to get to 100. And I'll put the URL. So that's going to be, if I remember, it's tinyurl.com/ I think it's learn node. Let's see. See if I get my memory serve me. We wait for the Facebook. There we go. I'll delete this because it doesn't read right. But what I also did there was I made, see this little timestamp? If you open that, and I always bring it up in every video because even if you watch me and you listen to my bad jokes, you see that I haven't really coded and it's been a dang half an hour. At least you can learn some of my little tips for cross marketing, which is code for, I'm not going to say SPAM. You never know, the algorithms might be reading it, be like this guy talking about SPAM. But it's not, it's related. So here I have this permalink here, and I'm not going to drag you guys through it, but basically if I wanted to go live in like these channels where they've accepted us, I'll just go ahead and paste it right there. And then, you know, it's not gonna look like much in mobile mode, but it's gonna look good in the desktop version. It's gonna have a live feed, a live icon, and these guys, they're getting about, since yesterday night, they're getting like 5 posts. So it's a smaller group. So I'm just gonna kind of post in ones that haven't either pushed my content so far down or removed it. And we'll just take a look. Just doing like random marketing here. I do not see our content here, so I just feel like maybe I'll leave this group out of sheer anger for them deleting. I spent the whole 3 seconds pasting it. But before I go getting angry, I just really don't know the numbers. Like, maybe they've had this many posts since last night. I just don't know. But they even allowed duplicate posts. That's cool. Come on, guys. Where's my stuff? Where's the ReactJS live stuff? Okay, so we had a request from Hazan, who does watch our stuff. So, dude, sorry again if I'm sharing our private info here. So, he basically says, I love your channel. It's amazing for someone who wants to learn ReactJS. But I want to request, make at least one video for absolute beginners, those who want to learn web development from scratch. Okay, man, I will. I feel like I'm in that place. I'll message you sometimes that I plan to do that and put something up. And you can join too. But I'll just basically tell you, brother, Hassan, basically you use the CLI for create React app, and it sets it all up for you. And then I think you just run npm, and then you run npm start. I'm gonna get him an article. So let me see. How to set up a create React app. I don't remember the apps just recently. Like, here we go. So here's their docs. Let's see if these are good for a beginner. npx create React app, cd my app, cd start. Basically that. Now, I don't know if he has npx installed by default. So something like this. And where would that link go for him? Right here. Okay. And then I think I'll invite him to our Discord, where we're just kind of like just starting out. Oh, he's in there. Cool. Welcome. Whoops, not welcome. Welcome, man. Welcome, my friend. And then so guys, it wasn't very long ago that I was on the outside in these groups, and I had friends that did coding, but like they were busy working. But by creating these networking environments myself, which I recommend you do, you start to get some traction, and like it's reconnected me to people that I've worked with in the past, like Ivan, or met new people like Brian and Matt and Victoria, and then other friends like Mario. And it's basically drug us all together. Who am I missing? Kawant, he's been a little bit busy, but it just brings us together and like under a common theme. And yeah, so go make a Facebook group, man. It's all about that. And then where are we at? We're losing our points here. I was busy spamming. Marketing. So let's see. What did I share? It was just the URL. And I need that URL back, gosh darn it. I do want to spread the word a little bit, and this is like the thing is like as ReactJS Live grows, I would like to at times have people be pair programming and talking and doing their work, and then I'll be on either on the channel too, on the live feed, or even off, but I'm gonna be like building up the feed by using the tool that like this one here in Electron.js. So you've stuck around this long. I'm going to show you the internals, and let me invite from my YouTube channel. Let's invite some people over from Discord. I think ReactJS live. Why is this not saying we're live? Did it not push? There, we're live now, buddy. Okay, before we get an audio feedback, I'm going to share this over in Discord. At everyone. Whoops. Oh, sure, Brian too. At everyone. Whoops. At everyone. I'm live doing random